Arsenal 7-1, of course. They will face...
Wait.
What's wrong?
Wait, they scored 7 goals and the expected goals is 1.96?
That's just how clinical Arsenal are in front of goals these days.
What?
Arsenal, by the way, will meet the winners of Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Don't focus on that too much. It's probably not even right.
Okay. All right.
No, in our track record.
I tell you what, he's got some front, hasn't he, today, Mario? You thought he would have rang in with a late flu or a real...
Yeah, Mario, as the Dutchman on this panel, we've got to go to you first. How much was this Arsenal being brilliant and how much was this PSV being bad?
It's actually, PSV is in a bad situation anyway. Prior to the game, you understand, because they were leading the charge in the league with 8 points different. Now they're 8 points behind Ajax that's winning it. So going into this game, they knew that they were not in a comfortable situation. But one thing is really crucial. The English league is very shown in Holland. And this game gave me a feeling like they were not ready for the game. How could you not know that Arsenal plays this way between the lines? How can you spread your midfield that wide open? Thiel, Trouser, all those guys in the middle of the park, you understand, of PSV. It was like it was a stretch right open, and every time Arsenal wanted to break them, it was so easy to get through them. I know the penalty that we highlighted could have changed the game because he should have gotten a second yellow card, you understand, because, you know, when that situation happened, yeah, it was crucial, but then they scored. But away from that, come on, man, it's, you know, Odegaard was... I felt like he was training. He wasn't even playing a game. He was doing a training session and walking through the lines and dictating it and spreading the balls around the way he wanted. And I think that's why PSV, no, they are not looking good, and I expected them to lose this game.
Regardless of PSV and their form coming into this, brilliant from Arsenal.
No, brilliant, because they haven't looked very good in the Premier League of late. And obviously, I think a little bit feeling sorry for themselves about the injuries that they've got and blah, blah, blah. But I've long said that, you know, they haven't lost Thierry Henry up front. They haven't lost an Ian Wright. They haven't lost, like, a Robin van Persie. You know, obviously, Bukayo Saka's out, and that is a huge blow. But they haven't lost, like, some great striker. I mean, he wasn't, you know, I think we all agreed he wasn't cutting the mustard, Kai Havertz. So I've always felt that Arsenal, if they got on the front foot, could still score goals. Now, they have huffed and puffed in the league, which is probably going to mean they're not going to win it. But they've shown tonight that they can create chances. All right, you know, PSV were terrible. I mean, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Last 16 in the Champions League. I don't care if you're having a good time or a tough time in your own league. I don't care if you're in form or out of form. I don't give a stuff. That's embarrassing. That is utterly embarrassing to be as open to lose 7 goals at home against a side that have been mediocre recently, with some of their best players out. Albeit they are a better team, they are a better squad, and they have a bigger budget. If you lose by 3 or 4, that's a bad day at the office. If you lose it by 7 at home, and it could have been worse, that's an absolute shambles. And, you know, Peter Bosz should be absolutely embarrassed about how his team performed tonight. As good as Arsenal were, at this level, when we're talking about losing 7 goals at home, that's a shocker, an absolute shocker.
How are Juventus feeling, eh? Looking at it overall, Ali, dream scenario. Next second leg, you don't need to go full steam, 7-1 up. Obviously, focusing now on Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid in the next round for Arsenal, but job done tonight.
Job done, but I think it's even beyond that for Arsenal. Because while we may look at PSV and go, yeah, they are horrendous, what we saw from Arsenal today, we haven't seen in a while. Dynamic in the attacking half, confident in front of goal, scoring goals, feeling good about yourself. So it's not only the momentum that you generate in Champions League and how then the second leg, obviously Mikel Arteta can rotate as much as he wants to. I think it pushes you forward. It gets you away from the negativity. It gets you away from what has been in terms of we haven't been good in front of goal, we haven't been confident, we haven't been scoring goals, we're dependent just on set pieces. If we don't score on set pieces, then we don't score at all. And you get to focus on, well, look at us. When we actually move off the ball, when we can combine, when we have Declan Rice joining in the attack, when Odegaard can get his head up and finds that through ball, we have enough players in the attack to be dynamic, and they proved that today, albeit against PSV. But I think if you're Arsenal, you don't care. You're excited about the fact that you looked like your old self. You looked confident. You looked dynamic. You looked explosive. And you haven't been that for a while.
A word on Lewis Skelly. Arteta handle this right?
Absolutely. And it's becoming a little bit of a habit for him, for one so young. And I think, you know, we saw him with the Erling Haaland celebrations. I thought that was a bit cocky. That's up to him. He was sent off at Wolves. Some might say he was unlucky, but we're starting to see these little... And it's a learning curve for him. And you either swim or you sink. Because there is absolutely no question he has the talent. But he has to look at he has to learn the discipline side of it, which young guys have to do. And if he does that, he's going to have a absolutely sterling career. That being said, it was the correct call, absolutely, from Mikel Arteta. And by the way, the player that he brought on is a terrific player.
Yeah.
So it was a smart and it was a needy move. But he was lucky he was able to make that move.
Yes, yeah, because he should have been off.
He should have been off.
Mario, of course, you came onto the scene as a teenager. How difficult is that learning curve that Lewis Skelly's going through at the moment? And has Arteta handled it right today?
Yeah, it was smart, you know, like Craig said. You understand, you take him off. And you also explain certain things to players. When they're that young, you explain to him in the situation you're in. You have to be smart because clearly you could see that, you know, it should have been a second yellow for him. But on the other side, you know, in the development when things like this happen, it's also sometimes better to let it happen early in your career because then you manage to learn from it. And then you see how your team is going through the development. There's clearly an opportunity there on the left-hand side because, you know, there's enough players go in and out there. So if I was that age and being in that situation he is, he's got to work hard and make that position his. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if you have big competition, you should always believe in yourself. And I think after this match, he should not worry about anything. This is just what happened. Your team won anyway, 7-1, so there's no worries for him.
But it's a good learning curve because they're playing PSV tonight.
Yeah.
He got away with it. And even if he'd been sent off, they might not have won 7, but they still have won this game because that PSV were so bad. But when they go to the next stage, and they will, the two teams that they may come up against...
How dare you question PSV's potential?
You're not getting away. You make those kind of mistakes against Atleti or Real Madrid, and you're done. You're absolutely finished. I mean, it's tough enough to play against them with 11 men, and that's when it has to be a quick learning curve. Okay, got away with it tonight. It was PSV. We hammered them. Cannot, if he plays against one of the other two in the quarterfinals, cannot be making the same decisions because that will cost his side a place potentially in the semi-final.